Last year, I had one of those weeks where everything collided at once. A client deadline was looming. My kids needed me. Family member made a comment about whether my business is really worth all of this effort. And I sat in my car at a supermarket and I got really affected by all of this. Not because any of those things were unbearable, but because all of them together at the same time with no pause button felt impossible. Today, I want to talk to honestly about intersection of life and an entrepreneur. Being an entrepreneur and running a business while life is happening in the background. Welcome to the Build the Dream brand. I'm Bhavna Rishi, founder of Build the Dream brand, and for over 20 years, I've been helping founders, artists, and fashion startups design, launch, and scale brands from museums like V&A department stores to first-time founders and startups who started with nothing but an artwork, idea, and a sketch. This podcast is for anyone who wants to build a fashion brand without wasting years and thousands of pounds on mistakes that could have been avoided. Whether you are sitting with an idea or being overwhelmed by all the business decisions that you're taking today and trying to figure out what comes next, this is your space. You see, I've already stepped on all the landmines in the brand building landscape. I'm here so you don't have to. The biggest lie in business advice is work-life balance. Who have heard this before? As if you can neatly separate the two. Instead of balance, aim for integration. Some weeks the businesses get 80% of your energy, other weeks family does. The balance is not daily, it is seasonal. So stop the self-punishment when you have a bad work week because your child was ill. That was the priority. The business will still be there on Monday. Bring your real life into your business. The founder who says, I launched late because life happened is more relatable than the founder who pretends everything is always perfect. If you're building a business, you will face judgment from family, from friends, from strangers online, people not supporting you, people not acknowledging you or even doing something. People will judge what they don't understand. They're not aligned with you, your family, your extended uncle who thinks you should get a real job does not need to understand entrepreneurship. I have an inner circle and an outer circle. My inner circle is few people who understand what I'm building at the moment. Everyone else is the outer circle. I am polite and kind, but I do not share my business dreams with everyone who do not have the capability of understanding them. That is not arrogance, that is self-preservation. Your energy is your most valuable resource. You need to be motivated on daily basis, and motivation is not a feeling. It has to be a system. It has to be a well-placed system in your business, like a non-negotiable morning coffee, 15 minutes of reading or a podcast, or taking that time out for your own self-care. Or journaling, take a Sunday evening or Sunday afternoon off and look at the week and schedule your important creative work when you have high energy days or high energy times. For me, it's mostly mornings, while the admins are done in the afternoons, is the low energy times. You could also have motivation generated through an accountability partner, someone who checks in weekly for 20 minutes, maybe a mentor, maybe a friend, maybe a person that you trust, and talk about all the good things you're doing, all the planning you're doing, and that they make you feel accountable to do what you said you're going to do and whether you've done them. Next is having a regular input. Reflect on what you've done, but have a sounding board. A mentor will help you in terms of having that conversation of where you're at, what you're doing, and having that clear sounding board is important to keep your motivation leveled up. And there will be times when you want to quit. There will be moments when you want to say, I don't want to do this anymore. This is too much. People are always discouraging me about something, but you're resilient and you keep going. But there are days when you're like, okay, that's it. I'm not going to do this anymore. But quitting urges passes within 48 hours. That's my recommendation. Set a timer, sleep on it twice before you think about all the negative stuff in your life. And then you wake up with a positive mindset shifts we talked about in previous episodes. If the feeling is still there after 2 days, that means you're exhausted, you're burned out. That means your systems in your business are lacking in something. So you need to sit down and see where you need the most help and how to really figure out what is causing that exhaustion. Where is that misalignment? Do you need to change direction? And then you will come across a solution, an answer. And once you do, you would not want to quit. Okay? So keep going and keep doing things in a positive way. And there are going to be down days and there are going to be fun and happy days. But having that balance to take the time out and reflect is the most important part of the business. And keeping keeping yourself motivated through various ways, through mentorship, through accountability partner, through having a self-care day, to taking the time out to have boundaries, are all part of building a successful, positive business. Here is your one action from today's episode. Identify your people who genuinely can help you motivate and understand what you're building at the moment. Go to a networking meeting if you don't have anybody around you that understand what you're doing. Join a community online of new founders. There's so many on Facebook and Instagram. Set up a weekly 20-minute check-in from at least one of them. Maybe reach out to some other founder who are 10 years ahead of you and build a relationship and talk about where you are at and where you're stuck. It's a very gentle way of figuring things out until you're ready to invest in a mentor. If this episode resonates with you inside Build a Dream Brand, through my mentoring, we help you to figure out how to stay motivated and accountable and how to manage personal pressures and family expectations and outside judgments while you build a successful business. If you would like, you can book a free discovery call on the link using the link below. There are also a bunch of resources that can help you change your mindset to only focus on things that matter to build that business. Thank you so much for joining for this episode of The Good, Bad, and the Ugly of Building the Brand. We'll explore motherhood and following your dreams and how to build when your priority is family, and really talking about the deeper issues and raising children. And if you find this episode useful, please share it with one person who needs this motivation, who needs the little bit of push today, and they are not sure what to do next. Until next time, keep taking small, brave steps. That's how every great brand begins. So keep going and keep building.